Welcome to Faith Stories with Dawn DeMarco Book. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they will see your good works and give glory to your Father in heaven. Matthew 5:16.
Show me how to love the unlovable. Show me how to reach the unreachable. Help me now to do the impossible. Forgiveness, I wanna finally set free. Show me how to see what your mercy sees. Help me now to give what you gave to me. Forgiveness. Your forgiveness is like sweet, sweet honey on my lips, like the sound of a symphony to my ears. It's like holy water on my skin. Dead man walking, slave to sin. I wanna know about being born again. I need you. Oh God, I need you. So take me to the riverside. Take me under, baptize. I need you. Oh God, I need you. I need you. God, I need you. Here I am with open hands, counting on your grace again. Less of me and more of you. I just want to see you move. I hear you call. I am available. I say yes, Lord. I am available. Here I am. Here I am. You can have it all. You can have it all. Here I am. Here I am. You can have it all. You can have it all. I surrender it all. I surrender it all. I surrender all. I surrender all to thee, my blessed Savior. Oh, I surrender all to you, oh Lord. I surrender all.
Broughton Garage Door Sales now offers you a difference with the LiftMaster Secure View Ultra Quiet Smart Opener with camera, LED 360-degree lighting, and battery backup. Built-in camera adds video and two-way audio communication to the MyQ app. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage anytime, anywhere from your smartphone. Schedule today at broughton.com.
Just simply call Broughton, we open doors for you.
Tavilla Properties, located at 11471 West Sample Road, Suite 17, located in Coral Springs, Florida. For all your commercial needs, call Jan at 954-341-1632. That's 954-341-1632. Welcome back to Faith Stories. One of the strongest gifts from the Lord is prayer. If you have a prayer request, please email me at dawndbook@gmail.com.
Hi, I'm Dawn DeMarco Book, and welcome to Faith Stories. I am so excited for today's show. You have no idea. No idea. And I brought a lot of women who love to yell and buy shoes. Before we start, though, let me just share what Faith Stories is all about. Faith Stories is Christians from all walks of life who come and share their stories of faith, hope, and love. And my prayer is that you would look to your Heavenly Father and come to know Him. So if you need a Bible, just reach out to me at dawndbook@gmail.com. Okay, so you guys, I also want to talk about my dear, dear friend, Stacy Herring. She is in hospice. She's a mom with 2 teenage daughters and a husband. And if you could keep her in your prayers, but also check out her book. I want to get this on the New York Times best-selling list. I want to help her family financially in any way I can. And so if you could just purchase her book. It's called The Fields of Gomorrah, and you can get it on Amazon. It is a great book. It's about a young girl who ran away from home and was caught up in trafficking. It doesn't go into huge detail about the trafficking part. It's the stories around it. Please check it out. Okay, here we go. Here we go, you guys. My guest today is Hayley Paige. And Hayley, oh my word, it's so funny. I was invited to this podcast up on Palm Beach, the Colony Hotel, and when I saw it was shoes and the Colony Hotel, and I saw the name and I thought, I know that name, but I couldn't put it together. And so when I got there, I'm looking at these shoes. They're absolutely gorgeous, right? I didn't try them on, but I was definitely drooling over them because they're just so stunning and sparkly, which I love, as you can see. So, anyway, I go into the podcast and I'm listening to her talk, and I realized, oh my gosh, she's the wedding dress designer. She was on. I sounded like a New Yorker there. So anyway, she's amazing, amazing woman. She has a powerful story to share about what happened as she started out as the wedding dress designer. So, Hayley, I'm going to throw it over to you, gorgeous.
Yay! Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I'm Hayley Paige, and very recently I got my name back in intellectual property. I've had quite a unique journey. Oh my gosh. Started as a wedding dress designer, but I had signed an employment contract that later was interpreted in ways I never thought possible, which included me not being able to use my name.
So let me ask you, in that moment when you found out, what was going through your head, and what exactly were your next steps? Because that had to be a shock.
It was definitely a challenge of my identity, because 1, my name, 2, I was actually severed from my community on social media because my name was used in the handle name on Instagram.
Right.
And then I also was put under a non-compete provision in which I couldn't practice my chosen trade. So those 3 things, happening at the same time.
Right.
It was almost like when it rains, it pours,
Yep.
and then you kind of build up a tolerance for the fortitude and adversity you need and the faith to get through that time.
Sure.
And luckily it ended in a very positive settlement. And I'm free to design again.
Thank God.
Which is great.
So it wasn't just that easy, though. Didn't they have you sign, you couldn't design dresses for 7 years? Is that what you said earlier?
Right. It was, in totality, it was a 7-year non-compete provision, which I had actually just spoke on behalf of the U.S. Senate and shared my story. It was a testimony of why the FTC's ban on non-competes is a very positive thing, not just for employees, but also for small businesses.
Well, entrepreneurs, because I'm one of those, and it's hard. You're trying to get your product out there, and you don't always have the funds to do that. Yes. And I remember when I was creating the Rose, and my friends who were on my advisory board, they're like, don't worry about the finances, that'll come. And I'm thinking, you know what? If it does come, what does that look like, right? And so and exactly what happened to you, because you were young when you got this contract, right?
Yes, and you don't know what you don't know. And a lot of times we have our blinders up in that I want this opportunity and I'm afraid if I push back or I'm confrontational, I might miss out.
Right.
You know, and so we might end up compromising things we're not aware of until later. And so I'm happy to share my story, of course. And what was really great is actually during the more tumultuous period of litigation, I found shoes, you know, and so that was my silver lining.
Shoes.
We love shoes, which was a non-competitive category.
Right.
I also changed my name publicly to Cheval during that time.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask you about your name, because what is Cheval?
Oh, Cheval.
I mean, I love the name. I just was like, what does that mean?
She is the French word for horse.
That's what I looked that up and I thought, really? Horse?
Yes.
So you love horses then?
I am horse. No. I actually saw it as kind of an unbridling.
Okay.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
And it was a way for me to kind of manifest my own destiny when the circumstances weren't particularly in my favor. And it was great because I had never done shoe making or design before.
Right.
So it challenged my creative palette, which has been wonderful. And now we can blend the shoes
Blend
and
the
the dresses
shoes
together.
with the dresses. And by the way, you guys, she was on Say Yes to the Dress, and my husband and I would watch. Listen, my husband is awesome. We would watch Say Yes to the Dress, and Hayley would come out with her beautiful dresses, and we'd be like, oh, she needs to pick that one, the bride needs to pick this one, and the shoes, he'll point out Christian Louboutin shoes so that I can see, oh yes,
Oh, look at
honey,
him.
let me tell you something.
Got good taste.
He knows exactly what he's talking about, and it's so funny because he does that with me, and I love that. You
That's
know?
wonderful, the
I
bond
know.
over sparkly
I
things.
know. Yeah, hello, sparkle. He knows I'm full of sparkle. So.
I love that.
Wow. So let's get into a little bit more detail about, you know, the journey that you went through, because that wasn't easy. I'm sorry. That was a challenging time. You were young. You're still young, but to walk through that and lose your name, you couldn't. Your fiance couldn't call you Hayley. Is that true?
Well, it was really interesting because there's a lot of nuance to it, you know, and I think when you go through something where you're feeling challenged and you feel like the circumstances aren't in your favor, you have a responsibility to find a way forward, right? And so I tried to focus on, you know, where your energy goes, your focus goes, right? And so rather than focusing on what was being taken and what I couldn't do, I pivoted to think, I'm so grateful. That's where I come from, is gratitude, God, grace, grit, all these things together.
That's what I love about your story, because when I heard that, I thought, you are so full of grace. I mean, you are. You're a beautiful woman, and you're just so full of God's grace and how He worked that all out in your life. And I'm so blessed that I was able to invite you onto the show, because I think you're just an amazing woman that young people can look up to.
Oh, that's
right?
so wonderful to hear. I definitely feel like, you know, when you come from that place and you feel a real responsibility to those around you that bring love to your life, and whether that's your sports system, through your craft, through God, you know, whatever it is, it's just something that gives you accountability and to say, you know what, I can shake myself off, shake off the dust, find a new way forward. And that just really gave me a lot of courage and the bravery to just say, you know, we'll get through this. And a lot of times I feel like when it comes to faith and hope, you know, it feels like this, oh, it's sunshine and rainbows. And, you know, it's just not
It's
that.
so not.
It's this fortitude to believe that you can really ride the wave of life, you know, and that you're going to be okay and that you're going to get through it, because so much of life is temporary.
Yeah,
and then
it's all temporary.
You have the
right?
comparison, exactly, and you have the comparison to live by of, well, it can also be worse. It can also be a lot better too. You know, so the perspective and the mindset is really important.
Yeah, and knowing that God is with you. You know, my life verse is Proverbs 3:5-6, and it's trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not depend on your own understanding, but seek His will in all you do, and He will direct your path. And because that is exactly what you need to do, because life is hard, but you can always find joy in the midst of the mess that we're in, right?
Yeah, that duality is so important because so much of life tries to really put you in those boxes or those categories when there really is two things can be true.
Right.
You know, and you can be going through something that is just so difficult and challenging while also having gratitude and
Yes.
gratefulness for what's in your life and the things that are still there, and I can still create in other ways, you know, so it's, you know, it's not cliche. It's important to practice that.
It's so true, so true. So I want to talk, we're going to talk about, show your shoes a little bit later, but I wanted to talk about what's the word I'm looking for? What drove you to go to shoes? Are you just like you just love shoes and you have to do the shoes?
I do love shoes.
Yeah, me too.
I think there was a transferable skill set.
Yeah.
Because I really did try to think of it from a craftsman standpoint. As an artisan, you know, I'm a creator. What am I actually going to be potentially good at? And so I actually did some research of, okay, how can I manifest this creativity in a different way? And I loved that shoes are a product that carries you places. You know, it's something you
Now
put
I would
on.
have never thought about that.
Yeah,
That was so
and
fun.
you walk into a room and if you've got a great pair of shoes
Oh,
on, you've got a
forget
great
it.
outfit.
Right.
You know, you manifest that confidence and that credibility.
Absolutely.
And you're walking forward with your life. So I loved that it had that sentimental
Yeah.
base to it, which wedding dress design has as well. It's so emotional. So it needs to be meaningful to me, whatever I did.
my
So
gosh.
shoes provided that.
Yeah. So with the wedding dresses, now you're able to do that. Is that correct?
Yes.
Oh, how fun.
Just like literally in the last couple months. So it's very new and exciting.
Oh my gosh. So have you already started drawing them out or
for sure.
resourcing?
I never stopped. I never stopped.
I
Behind
figured.
the scenes, unseen
Hello,
hours. Yeah,
right?
always just doing it. Yeah.
And
so-
what inspires you? Because I know when I design jewelry, it's like anything can inspire you as a designer, right?
Oh, for sure.
So what inspires you with the wedding dress, with the shoes? Because they're so incredible. I mean, I love wedding dresses and I love shoes. So it's like, this is like the perfect thing, you know?
I know. Twist my arm.
I know.
I picked two categories that I feel like most people just enjoy.
Yeah.
I think inspiration really is about mindfulness. And for me, it's never really so much about building a collection as it is paying attention to the storyline of each individual design.
Yeah.
So I love that. I love that design is an opportunity to tell a story through aesthetic, textural means.
Right.
And so each one really has something to say. And I like to hide little tiny nuances throughout.
Really?
I pull a lot from my childhood and
Do you
nostalgic
really?
elements as well as like music from different genres. And so it's always kind of a bit of a mixed bag, but it feels limitless in that way. You know, people think, oh, you know, wedding dresses, it's like how many ways can you design, you know, a white dress? And I'm like, oh
girl. Many ways.
The limit does not exist. You know, and like the shades and then the colors you bring in and the textures and the laces and it's just endless. And so it's such a wonderful, imaginative place to be. And it just always makes you feel like you're moving forward and there's something new to learn through it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so were you always creative when you were growing up?
My grandmother taught me to sew
Really?
and bake at a very young age. So I think that initial exposure was very helpful for me. And then I was very lucky to benefit from my college experience. I went to design school at Cornell and it was backed in science, which is really cool. So, you know, you learn how to make flammable fabrics and unflammable, you know, like all these really cool ways of textures coming together and the weave and the way that it's functional as well as fashionable. But the experience there gave me viability. It said, okay, this is actually a real career that I could make some money off of.
I can actually sink my teeth into this.
Yeah, like I can actually love it and enjoy it, but also make a living or a livelihood.
Wow.
And yeah, that was important for me. But I think everybody's creative journey is different. And
100%.
you deal with your own setbacks and insecurities with anything. So just, you know, give yourself time and the credibility and find really great people that believe in you along the way. And
So let me ask you, you created a foundation. So let's talk about your foundation.
Yes. Well, I put a problem out into the world, you know, I shared this experience of like, I lost my name and all this stuff happened, you know. And so I think a part of me just felt like there wasn't really much of a solution to it. And what's great is actually over the last few years, you know, legislation is catching up because the FTC is trying to ban non-competes, and that's fabulous. But my foundation is actually set up to provide legal resources and just ways to give you confidence at those formative years of your career when you're an artist or you're an entrepreneur, and you know, you only know what you know at that stage. And so you need advocacy, you need mentors, you need people that have been there and are where you want to be telling you things, you know, because everyone's an authority now, but like, how much of it is really helpful for you and will help you get to where you want to go.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like you were how old when you signed the contract? You were like 25.
25, no lawyer.
Hello.
Yeah.
And so that is one thing you have to know. If you're an entrepreneur and you're young, and at any age, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're 30, 50, 70, whatever, and you're an entrepreneur, you need to make sure that you are protected and not have what happened to you. And oh my God, I can't even imagine. I really can't. And how you just walked through that, and during those times of, because you come across like it so beautifully. But I know that was, you got a federal lawsuit against you, girl.
It was adulting.
It was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What just happened here, right?
Yeah, it definitely felt, okay, I must have done something wrong, because this is a very serious matter, of course. And, when you're dealing with something in a courtroom that doesn't reflect your actual experience too, it can feel a little extra scary because there's a relinquishing of control. There's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
And so for me, I think I just wanted to be able to get through it so that later in life, I'll be proud of how I handled it.
Yeah.
And I thought about that even going into it, because there's a tendency to think, oh, I'm going to get jaded by this, or I'm going to.
Well, you could very easily.
You could. And
right?
so much of my world is emotional. And it has to be.
Right?
Like in design, it has to be.
I know.
With business, you almost have to put that cap on sometimes
know.
and know how to decipher when to just be, responsible in your response and not so reactive. Whereas with design,
it's
I
very
get to
emotional.
be a little more,
And when you put something together and it comes together and you're like, wow. I remember when I first got the rose done, and believe me, I researched it for a year and a half. I sat in the chair in the living room and I said, okay, Lord, you need to tell me who to reach out to, because nobody would do it the way I wanted it to. And he gave me a name. I called her up. She said, and she connected me with the ones that created this. And I was just like, when I first saw it, I'm sitting in their office, and I didn't say a word. I was speechless. So it is emotional, and people don't understand that, when you have an idea and then you draw it out and then you're trying to make it happen.
Right.
I couldn't make, this is not something I could make. I'm not a jeweler, I'm a designer, right?
But you had it up here.
I
so
had it up
there's
here and I
something
knew
divine in that.
exactly what I
Yes.
wanted. It was just so crazy, so I get the emotional part, because it is emotional. It's your heart. It's what God gave you to do, right?
It's definitely a form of expression. And you just reminded me that part of the shoe sales today are going to be giving back to Rosie Foundation.
Right.
So
Hayley was so sweet to do this. The Rosie Foundation is a foundation that I started in honor of my niece Rosie, who was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer when she was 11 and a half. And she fought for a little over 2 years, and she lost her battle. So I have the rose on. This is in honor of Rosie, because it's Rosie's Garden, and the Rosie Foundation. So what the foundation does is we give money to children with charity, children with cancer and animal rescue, because we all love animals and children. And so anyway, she's giving 10% of every sale up until August 31st. All you have to do in the coupon or just the code?
just in checkout. Yeah.
In checkout, put in Rosie Garden. That's ROSIE Garden, GARDEN, and she will donate 10%. And she's also giving you free shipping. How awesome is that?
Yes.
Yay!
Oh, least I could do.
Yay! Love it. Love it, love it.
Such a great cause.
I know, thank you. Yes, it's very close to my heart. It's obviously my niece, but anyway, I want to get back to you, girl. So we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Broughton Garage Door Sales now offers you a difference with the LiftMaster Secure View Ultra Quiet Smart Opener with camera, LED 360-degree lighting, and battery backup. Built-in camera adds video and two-way audio communication to the MyQ app. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage anytime, anywhere from your smartphone. Schedule today at broughton.com.
Just simply call Broughton. We open doors for you.
Tavilla Properties, located at 11471 West Sample Road, Suite 17, located in Coral Springs, Florida. For all your commercial needs, call Jan at 954-341-1632. That's 954-341-1632. Welcome back to Faith Stories. One of the strongest gifts from the Lord is prayer. If you have a prayer request, please email me at dawndbook@gmail.com.
Welcome back to Faith Stories. Okay, so now we're really going to get into the shoes. We kind of like chatted a little bit, but now we're going to look at the amazing shoes. Well, let's talk about the ones here first. Sure. Okay, so I so love these. These are gorgeous. Can you tell us about these?
Absolutely.
Ooh, girls, hello.
I like the oohs and ahs.
This is beautiful. Oh my God.
Yes, so a lot of the elements in these shoes are brought over from the wedding dress world. This shoe in particular is actually inspired by a gown named the Declan, and it has this amazing tone-on-tone organza stripe, and so you get this sheer factor along with the ribbon work. And so I tried to manifest that in the shoe. She's actually very sexy once you put her on because you get this like
it's sexy not on.
Yeah, little peekaboo factor.
Oh my gosh.
And what's really great too is that with shoe design, I wanted to hide some little storytelling elements. So on the bottom of every shoe is actually a Morse code in the tread.
I saw that and I thought, what is that?
Yeah, so we do have our signet on the bottom, which is our charm, which is a cheval charm, Pegasus unicorn. And then on the very bottom, there's tread in every shoe, and it has the Morse code in the tread.
Shut up.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what it says, right? Because we have to.
You have to now.
One shoe says, "You got this," and the other shoe says, "Fresh steps." So you kind of get that, manifesting your own destiny in each step.
Oh, that is so beautiful. And I love that there's stories behind each shoe. Hello. Oh my God. Hello, hello.
Need an Oliver sparkle sneaker.
Sparkle, sparkle. I have a sparkle sneaker already.
I know.
do. Not like this, but these are awesome.
These are so great because they're very popular in kind of the service industry. So, when you feel like you have to really wear something utilitarian and functional, a sneaker's flats, you can run in it, you can be in it all day.
And
but
sparkle as you
get
go.
some bling, yeah, of course. Lace up obviously makes it a little more adjustable.
Oh my gosh, these are fabulous.
A lot of fun. We didn't want to bring sand to the beach.
Yeah,
so.
no. All right, we're going to go over to the display that has a lot more shoes. So we're just going to go ahead. Okay, so talk about the shoes that we see right now.
Absolutely. Well, the one you're looking at right now with the horsehair bow, this is actually brand new. It's not even been released yet. So I brought it today just so that we could get her first little moment on your show.
And you said that's horsehair?
That's a horsehair, yes.
Shut up.
Not real horsehair.
Sorry, I keep saying
yes.
that. It's not real horsehair. Don't get upset. People who love horses.
It's a nylon material, but it's what we actually use to bring out texture and volume in a wedding dress. So I wanted to bring it into the shoe. She's got a kitten heel, so she's great for dancing. Big day energy kind of vibes. But we also have a nice eclectic assortment. I didn't want to just be a wedding dress designer turned wedding shoe designer. So there's a lot of fashion elements, and we've got some flats, we've got some heels, we've got some boots.
So you've got the cute little boots, which you have them on in pink. And so it's funny because I told Hayley that I have wide feet now. That everybody knows that, but it's true. And you also have wide feet, so I'm very excited about that because you have no idea. I love the pointy shoes, but I can't wear them because they hurt like crazy. So I'm so excited to try your shoes on.
Absolutely. And also the Le Tigre Dynamite, which is our best-selling boot, actually does have the pointed toe box, but it's got a little extra width across the ball of the foot. So, it's our best fitting, and you can always wear a sock and pad, if you have a narrow fit. But the problem is if you have a wider foot,
it doesn't work.
You just can't get into the shoe. You can't tailor a shoe. There's not much you can do. So I wanted it to be as inclusive as we could. Yes,
are those
pink sister of our sneakers.
All right.
Her name is Throw Shine, not Shade. So yeah, everyone has its own little name and story behind it. Yes.
So the slipper next to it?
Yeah, so this is our slider flat, and she's made with a trapunto technique.
Okay.
So she's actually padded and has a Velcro attachment, and that gives a little more versatility.
Those are fun because they're like really easy, If you
Throw
don't
on,
have
go.
a pump
yes,
on.
Exactly. And then that one there too has a acrylic heel with dried hydrangea in the actual heel. So there's a preservation kind of concept to those.
I love hydrangeas.
Yeah, and then we have love in the heel.
I love that one with the love.
Very, very much where walk in love, right?
Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. Yes, everybody's commenting on her shoes. So we're actually going to go shoe shopping now.
I love that. I love that for all of us.
We're going to wrap this baby up, but listen, how can they get in touch with you, my friend?
Yes, so we are actually online. That
Yay.
is predominantly an e-commerce model for shoes. So you can shop sheischeval.com. And then, yeah, we've got Instagram. I recently got my original Instagram back, so Miss Hayley Paige is my personal account finally back in my hands.
Absolutely amazing.
And then She Is Cheval Instagram as well. And we've got a Girl You Might Know Foundation Instagram. So I've got like 100 Instagrams at this point, so just any of them are fine.
God bless you. I'm so thankful for Claudia and Emmeline and Abby and Caitlin, because they do the Instagram for me, because girl, that is so not me. They're so amazing. They make these beautiful posts. They were promoting this show like crazy to let people know.
Great.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a full-time job.
It absolutely is.
It
yes.
really is, and yeah, I'm not gifted in that. Give me the opportunity to talk about God and fashion. I'm in.
Yes.
Clothes, shoes. You got it. I'm there. All right, you guys, join us next week. My guest next week is Kim Davis Reese. She is someone I met at the eye doctor. She was blind and now she can see, I swear to you. It's going to be a powerful story next week. Have a blessed week, and we'll see you next Wednesday at 3. Take care.
Thank you for watching Faith Stories, where you will hear stories of hope, faith, and love. Please join us next week, and remember, God meets you where you are.